What will happen? Tristan Mallory took the desire of the young lady to procreate coldly. Clumsily, he did his best to pretend that they had a lot of time left, that they'd think about it later on, that he was ready to wait, but she kept insisting more and more. The months went by and the young lady never, oh she's a young lady now, never tried of telling him all the things she wanted to make of their providential baby, describing from A to Z how she intended to educate it and the accessories that would be necessary. Her biggest wish was to give birth to a little girl she could gussy up as much as she wished. She sighed, imagining how she would cover her in presents, go shopping with her, become a mix of a cool and friendly big sister like mother. Scolding, she was way too afraid that her future child would hate her to even think of it. Her angel would have to love her. It was obvious. She would be a good mother and everything would go for the best. Ambre had an endless stock of arguments to convince Tristan's motherhood was the realization of a little girl's dreams, the logical and infallible consequences of a couple's relationship, the greatest proof of love that could ever be, a way to conform themselves to the norm. Months went by, slowly, dreadfully, to the rhythm of Ambre's growing obsession. She was always looking out for a sign, observing her body for the telltale good news. Oh shit! Does girls actually do that? If there's a girls watching right now, please tell me in the comment section. Try after try, she repeated that this time it would work, though she had to admit that something was wrong, that something wasn't working. What do you mean this time it would work? Even though she tried her hardest, she still wasn't pregnant. A shower of doubt started pouring down on her mind. Holy shit! They are doing it! They are getting on it, holy shit! Tristan tried to minimize the problem, telling her that it wasn't so bad, that it would happen someday, that they had so many other things to live for together. But it was too late. Ambre wasn't listening anymore. Holy shit. She absolutely needed to go to the doctor to get her body checked up, to understand the problem and to fix it. She wasn't going to give up when she was so close to her goal. I think that's not working because you're still a child, okay? But I think a child can bear children, right? Or one of them cannot, in the genes that cannot create children. I don't know. Her partner avoided the subject as much as possible, pretending to be distracted and refusing any medical checkups. Every time the young lady went to talk about it, he remained tongue-tied, feeling that the situation was becoming more and more tense. She was getting too close to the truth, and he couldn't afford it. There were too many things at stake. What's the truth? Tell me. I don't know. I don't have any idea. So he held on, trying that he could to reassure his protege and convince her to get rid of those unwanted thoughts. But Tristan's shoulder, yielding under the weight of his burden, was too tired to anticipate Ambre's every move. He couldn't see the disaster coming even though he felt it. One day while he was at work, she took the opportunity to go to a doctor at her city's central hospital. One day while she was at work, she took the opportunity to go to She explained the situation and pleaded with him to help her bear children. He gave a long sigh and stared at her from the head to toe. Finally, in honeyed tones, he suggestively, amiably, "What? You know, there's no need to try that hard. You'll only hurt yourself further. Don't play dumb. You're very well aware of your sterility, aren't you?" What's that? What does that matter? What's the meaning of sterility? I don't know. It's not the end of the world, you know. There are assisted procreation techniques that work very well nowadays. In vitro fertilization, for example. Why don't you try to think about that? The young doctor tried to be as positive and comforting as he could be. But the blow had already been dealt. Ambre was in shock. Her dreams crumbled to pieces in an ocean of dust and litter. She left the hospital completely destroyed, speechless and cold, and as mechanical as a robot. Yeah, she can bear children, I think. Her fertility is not that, I don't know, good? I don't know anything about that shit. I'm 18, what can you say? She heard nothing of the doctor's last kind words. All she knew was that she had to go home. When she was outside, the sky is building gray, light left her lost for a bit. She was obviously in the city where she had always lived, but the buildings, the cars, and the people passing by had all turned to ghostly and haggard silhouettes in her dark, upside-down world. Her sight blurred little by little as she walked aimlessly. The city crumbled into a gigantic pile of ashes. Voices of the passerby around her changed into soundless language, metallic and meaningless. Ambre managed to get to the park, mechanically not really knowing how, a terrifying angst seizing her from inside. Seeing nothing, understanding nothing, she fell on the grass, wide-eyed. All of a sudden, the gray filtered images of her past came back to her mind and reality brutally hit her in the stomach. It's impossible. Why, why me? Even though I am normal. I'm not a piece of trash. No, it can't be. My dream. I wanted to be happy. She remembered the mirror. The mirror. The mirror. The crude light above the mirror that showed her all her flaws, all her imperfections. The excruciating need to be perfect, to be flawless. Flawless like the models, actors, singers on every screen that were all constantly visible. To be seen, to be admired, to have every corner of yourself analyzed. Never break down, always be perfect, take care of every detail, hide everything, keep everything deep inside yourself even if it means the surface will weaken and crack under the weight of lies. The mirror, in front of which she carefully put on makeup for long minutes, that miraculous product that could erase every one of those damn imperfections, those goddamn traces of humanity. Shave her legs, not leaving a single hair, frame her brows, choose the outfit that will make her look her best, add a layer of makeup on the face to make one's identity disappear to be replaced by a single form of beauty, a majestic beauty, an artificial beauty, an impossible beauty to attain. The mirror, in front of which she would weigh herself, in front of which she would tell herself that she should watch what she eats, become thinner, become more beautiful, more desirable, throw up every extra, keep only what's essential, admire herself in front of the mirror. Throw up that unwanted vital pulsation, throw up what's dirty, become cleaner inside and out. Destroy the dirt, anything dirty, become pure, immaculate, perfect. The mirror, other people's tears, the permanent mirror, vanity, believing you exist, destroying yourself bit by bit, becoming unable to survive by yourself, to stand the growing loneliness, the implacable struggle against yourself, mind almighty against the body, forcing it to submission, forcing it to remodel itself to fit whatever you wish it to be, forcing it to become soul's one and only avatar, not being able to accept yourself, the endless racing against time, nature, constant effort to kill yourself, to prevent yourself from existing. An ethereal body, dreamlike, a corpse's body. The mirror is staring at the bottom of my heart. He knows everything, he sees everything. I can't escape it, I cannot escape. Locked in by her obsessions, Ambre convulsed, letting out several piercing shrieks. It has to stop! It has to stop! Suddenly, the emotional pressure becomes so strong that she completely lost all sense of reality and her brain went blank. She moved no more. She didn't pronounce a single word. Motionless on the park's grass, eyes still fixed in the terrified posture, you might believe she was dead if she hadn't been breathing faintly. The world seemed to freeze, explode, die in an insufferable shriek of agony. Her world. The clock had struck midnight, but Cinderella wasn't ready to give up on her dream. It was 7:30 p.m. On that beautiful yet cold autumn day. The wind shook the frail tree's branches across the street. Wait. I remember this. This is like the beginning, right? Yeah. The unavoidable, something like that. Yeah, this is the beginning. Okay. Oh shit! Then after what felt like an eternity, yeah. He moved all together to frame pictures had been on the furniture. This is new. He moved to gather all the frame pictures that had been on the furniture and stowed them away in the closet. They needed to be out Yeah, there we go. If Ambre discovered the pictures of her happy alter ego too quickly, she was obviously going to wonder. He stored them in a drawer and locked it. The frames didn't take up too much space. After all, there weren't that many of them and he always puts the same ones on the buffet. He would never notice it. When he was sure that there were no pictures to put away, Tristan put his coat back on and went outside. It was cool, a bit dark, yep. Take a walk. As he hurried along the sidewalk, the 30-year-old man was anything but relaxed. Seems to be out of reach. Yeah. He had to find her. He had to bring her back home. Some are like for the beginning, but they added something like, yeah. A park near his home, Tristan heard a high-pitched, almost inaudible plea. Okay. There is Ambre, I think. He came closer slowly, so as not to surprise, something like that. Yeah. He was indeed standing in front of his wife, Ambre Mallory, who used to be so charming. She was still pretty, but she seemed to have aged prematurely. White locks here and there brightened her long hair. Her long hair to the point where you couldn't tell her age anymore. Oh shit! With that appearance, she could have been an old lady. However, she was in her 30s, like Tristan, who didn't appear any younger. Backed, hunched, looking haggard, eyes more lifeless than ever, she was crying. Her clothes were crumpled. She had neither coat nor scarf, and there were scratches on her hands and arms, as if she had been in a fight. Did she roll on the floor, harm herself, regardless? Well, anyway, the park was completely deserted, and she seemed to have been there for a while. She must have run away hours ago, probably since the early afternoon. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been in a state where she would be able to cry. She would have been motionless like a doll, unable to show the slightest sign of life, until finally she'd come back to her senses. For a second, Tristan Mallory was tempted to leave her to her fate, but he gave himself to mentally slap. He couldn't leave her like that. Oh shit! She was his wife. He loved her. He had to take care of her, no matter what. But even so, sometimes he almost wished she would get lost for good, that she'd disappear, so he wouldn't have to live through this endless circle again. Oh my god. His conscience protested that he would feel too guilty that he wouldn't be able to forgive himself. There was no way out. He had to live with this burden. So he placed himself in front of her, and in a soft voice he asked, "Is something wrong?" His wife first seemed not to hear him. She was choking her sobs. Yep. She had forgotten everything once again. Dementia? Or something like that. Tristan Mallory stroked her hair and repeated, "Why are you crying? What happened?" Calm, okay? I don't know. I think I lost... Oh shit. This is like, yeah, the beginning. Feeling a mixture of compassion and pity. She seemed so lost, so vulnerable. He wanted to hold her. Okay? Ambre didn't recognize him anymore in the end. He would have to wait, even if the desire to ease his own loneliness was suffocating. The woman he loved was there, in front of him, and he couldn't so much as touch her. So he tried not to lose face. Yep. Are you all alone? Where's mommy and daddy? I don't know. I switched the I don't know anymore. Do you live far away from here? What happened to Ambre? What's your name? Ambre. Well, Ambre, you can stay like out here in the wind. You're going to catch a cold. No, I hate being sick. See, you got to go warm. The night's getting close. But I don't know where to go. In that case, what do you think about going over to my place? It's not far away from here, and it'll make a much better sleeping place than the swing. Ambre seemed worried, but yeah, okay. They were washed out, blurred tears, hesitant. They were the eyes of a little girl stuck in a woman's body, the eyes of a woman haunted by her little girl obsession, the eyes of a trapped person, okay? He thought it'd be a good idea to show her a smiling face, to give her a protecting role. Even with the fatigue, he caught her fine and frail hand and helped her to get her feet, okay? Holy shit! What happened to Ambre? The young lady's steps were wobbly, weak. She had probably not eaten all day long. Oh shit, what happened to Ambre?